so this is the part of the vlog channel where you guys are going to see me make food. This is not going to be a big thing. Like, I'm not going to be making food all the time because, honestly, too much work. But I'm going to show you guys how to make my bruschetta today. And my bruschetta is always very popular at get-togethers, whether it be with like family, friends, or just wherever. Whenever I make bruschetta, everyone always asks me how I make it, and you know, they love it when I serve it with some baguette, well, like French baguette, and Tostitos. So if you want to know how I make my, I don't know if you would call it healthy, but I would call it healthy because it's like a lot of, you know, tomatoes and garlic and stuff. And it's delightful and I love it. So yeah, stay tuned if you want to know how I do it. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is grab some tomatoes. Now I know some people, you know, have preferences on what tomatoes you like. I use, I don't know, these are the ones we always buy. So I'm just going to go ahead and take them. And, you know, I like them to be kind of smaller. I don't really like the big tomatoes because then it makes my, don't really like the center part of the tomato as much as I like the part that's like near the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and wash these first, and then we are going to go and cut them up. So just give them a good rinse. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my, I don't know, this is a specific knife that I use when I cut tomatoes. It has this kind of like an edge where it makes it easier to cut. So the way I'm going to start out is take it and cut it into little circles. And then we're going to cut it into cubes. Now, if you don't like, you know, cutting it into like little cubes, you can make them in different shapes or whatever your preference is. There's also like a big deal, like if you're going to be putting this on maybe bread or eating it with like chips or something. It all depends on how you want to make it. And since this is for me, I'm not going to make a huge deal about like what size they are. It's okay that they're not all like perfect squares. If I was making this for like a guest or something, I would try my best to cut them so that they're all similar sizes. But for these circles, I usually just cut them into 3 and then separate that once again into 3 sections. This centerpiece, I don't like it, so I throw it out into the garbage. But I mean, it really depends on whatever your preferences are for what parts of the tomato you like best. I actually ended up not cutting all of the tomatoes up, and I left 2 over because I decided that this is just going to be for me, so I don't really want that much. But yeah, so I got this, and I'm going to go ahead and put it into this little bowl here, and then I'm going to drain the water out because I really don't like when it's super duper wet and everything, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So we're just going to take it, bring the tomatoes into the bowl. This little ridge that's on the side of my cutting board is specifically to catch the juices and the waters. So I'm going to go ahead and wash that, and then we're going to clean up inside there. Now what we're going to do is, at least what I do, is I kind of just let the water seep out. So I hold the tomatoes back, and then I just let it come out. And like, I mean, obviously I'm doing this, if you want, you can use like a paper towel and put that into the bowl prior to putting your tomatoes in, and then just dump them into a different bowl because the paper towel will absorb all the water. But I just find that doing this is a lot easier, and usually I can get most of it out. Now it's time to kind of like season everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in some olive oil. And I'm just going to do this, like eyeball it, but I would say no more than like 1.5 tablespoons. But I just like pour in a little bit to your liking. I mean, if you don't want too much oil, don't pour it in, but you know, however you like it, and then just kind of mix that up. I'm also going to end up like dumping this a little bit later, like taking a lot of the olive oil out because, again, as I said, I don't really like my bruschetta to be completely, like, you know, drenched in liquids. Now I'm going to use red wine vinegar. I'm not sure if you guys like normal vinegar, you could use that too. I kind of just made this recipe up on the fly. Like when I was just doing something, we were having a party, I did it. So you want to take like about a teaspoon of vinegar and dump that in there. And then I like to go ahead and take some basil. Now usually I use fresh basil, but at the moment I don't have any. So you could always just use dried up basil leaves. Take that and just dump that in. And you know, you could use other greens, maybe if you have a specific, like, I don't know, a vegetable little green leaf thing that you have, like maybe some basil, maybe some dill. But place it in and it will just kind of make it a lot prettier and add a little bit more of a spicy taste to it. But yeah, I really like the basil, so I put a lot of it in. And now we're going to go ahead and salt it a little bit. Now I usually, like, I keep my salt in a bowl because I'm cooking all the time. And I just like, I like to put in a little bit, not too much, because I'm going to be putting in a lot of garlic. And that's going to give me a lot more taste. Now what I'm going to do is take a clove of garlic. Now I like to take like a medium-sized one. You could totally like do it to your preference. And use these, I'm not sure what they're called, but once you squeeze it, the garlic comes out in like little tiny pieces. I wish I was stronger. It's not really working out for me. Okay, never mind, it is. And now what we're going to do is just kind of take it with a knife and just place it in here. And then the remainder here, I like to pull it out, move it around a little bit, and then once again press it, because more comes out. Ooh, the smell of garlic is just overpowering. Now you just want to stir this up, and I sometimes let it sit for a little bit, and then again I kind of get rid of the water, the liquids, and just leave the tomatoes over, which like are now in kind of like they have like tastes and different spices all absorbed into them. So it won't really matter that, like, you know, there actually won't be as much olive oil and stuff. Now that we're done, I'm gonna go ahead, cut up some bread, and then we're gonna enjoy. Alright, so now I get to try it, so really excited here. I'm gonna be taking a little bit of like a piece of bread, French baguette, and I'm going to go ahead and take a spoonful, put it on the edge, and take a bite. This is so good. The tomatoes are the perfect sweetness. Delicious. Alright, so now I'm going to show you that I tend to eat this with Tostitos scoops all the time. And this is how I serve it whenever we have like guests over. I make a bowl of bruschetta and then I just put Tostitos in a big bowl. And you just take some Tostitos, put a ton of it inside, and eat it. So good. It's the perfect like sweetness. And with Tostitos, because it's such salty like chips, it adds a little bit more to it. I personally love the bread part. Like, it's just so good. So I'm going to continue eating that while I watch Pretty Little Liars. So thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it because I'm really excited to eat my like snack right now. So yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know if you want any more of like these little activities of like where it's like, I don't know, I make something. It's just I know a lot of people like always love my bruschetta and ask me like how I make it. So now I can just send them this link and I don't have to tell them. It's me being lazy. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.